We are live. We are back again. What's good, family? This week, we are back again with the free masterclass, free training. Going to be detailing how to fix your credit, how to build your credit, how to structure your LLC, and how to get funding. Comment free below to get the invite link so you can sign up. It's completely free. I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about credit, some of the secrets about credit, how to leverage your credit, how to build your credit, understanding how to get funding, how to fill out applications when it comes to lenders and what they're looking for, certain factors on your credit report that is very important, some of the things you could ignore. Sometimes people focus so much on the score alone, but that's not the end all be all in this game. You want to focus on other things, and that way you have full confidence when it's time for funding. All right, share this link with your loved ones, share this with your friends, people who are interested in this topic. Let them know about it so they could get the free link as well, and they could be invited and join the room. Okay, knowledge is power. This is stuff they don't teach you in school. I remember when I was in high school, one of our teachers was like, when you go to college, I want you to open up a credit card and purchase like some cheap, item and pay it off every month. That way you can build your credit. It wasn't terrible advice, but it wasn't everything you needed to know at the time about credit. I wish I had a mentor, somebody who would have given me more information about credit, so I wouldn't be struggling as a college student, looking for taking out more student loans that I needed to, when actually I would have been able to get funding from the banks in a more informed way. Started a business in college. You're surrounded with so many students in college, and a lot of those people would have been my clients. I would have been helping them in understanding how to use their credit and how to get funding, and also for them to start their business, because in school we're pretty much educated on how to become workers, right? We're not educated on how to become bosses. Nothing wrong with working for a company, but it's always important to have both sides. You want to be able to understand how to run a business, right? Like, you're in college, you might be taking a business administration degree, business management degree, but they don't really tell you anything about credit. They might give you a few information about what an asset is, what a liability is, what equity is, but they never give you a guide on how to actually transform those things into ownership, into you starting a company and running a company, especially with the internet, right? We had internet in college, but they weren't teaching us how to run a business online, right? They were just teaching us like, oh, you needed to have a building, and in the building you needed to have equipment, you needed to have an office, and then you got to hire people, and you got to put people on payroll and all this stuff. But they didn't talk about how you can pretty much automate a lot of things, outsource a lot of things to different countries. Now we're in a global market. Pretty much you could hire people from international countries and pretty much have them pay them a lot less than you would have paid somebody in America to help you run your business. None of that stuff was taught to us in college, especially me. But with this credit space, there's endless opportunities in it. There's a lot you can learn. There's a lot I'm going to teach you, how to grow, how to start from practically having no credit or having bad credit, and then fixing the credit, and then getting funding. I'm going to show you the step-by-step actionable information that you can apply immediately after the free class. So if you want to learn about this, comment free below so you could get the link, and let me know if you actually did get the link, just to make sure everything is working. All right, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're in the East Coast, it's going to be nighttime. We're going to put our heads down. We're going to come together. We're going to take some good notes. We're going to ask some good questions. And the rest is history. I always like to say that the rest is history, because once you get this information, you're going to feel so much better about the position you're in. You're going to feel empowered. You're not going to feel like you're stuck. You're not going to feel hopeless. you're gonna feel like there's a lot of opportunity coming your way. So definitely want to comment free. Want to push this out to your friends, to your family, to any entrepreneur out there who wants to start a business but they don't have any startup capital. They don't have anyone investing in them. They don't have anyone who loaned them money, like an investor or a venture capitalist. You don't need all those people to start a business. You could use the bank's money. You could leverage OPM, other people's money, right, with using your own personal credit score. It's literally called the personal guarantor method. If you go to the bank right now, you wanted to apply for a business credit card, and you tell them, I would like to use a personal guarantor, they automatically know what you're talking about. So they're going to pull your personal credit. They're going to make sure everything looks good. And once, you're in the high 700s, profile looks strong, right? You got, your LLC, everything set up. You got your business email, business phone number, business address, safe name. You apply for that funding, you get the high limit. Next thing you know, you're walking out of there with a smile on your face. Walking out of there with a smile on your face. Now you have money. Now you could just, make your dreams come true. You can run your business. You can start a business. You can carry clients. You could, invest in marketing, ads. You could be aggressive in the way you promote yourself without having any fear of, living paycheck to paycheck. You got the money in the bank, you got the money in the credit card. The rest is history. Push this out, man. Push this out to your friends and family. To my live. I invite more people on here so they could jump on the live. I get people asking me questions all the time, like, yo, Phil, I just had this, negative account pop up on my credit, this collection that, just randomly popped up here. This account, I haven't had this account in like years. How come it's all of a sudden on my credit report? Well, the thing is a 7-year statute of limitation. So if you have an account that you defaulted on and now it's in collection, they sold it to a third party. Technically, it might not be reporting immediately after the collection. It might take a few years, and you might be somebody who just gets blindsided, and all of a sudden you have, a collection on your credit report from something that happened, 5 years ago. So what do you do in this situation? How do you dispute it, right? Is this account actually yours? Does it belong to you? How do you go about it? And I always tell people, write a letter. In that letter, make sure you're highlighting all the errors on your credit report. So if that account has, information that is misleading, information that is incomplete, information that has a lot of inconsistencies, you want to make sure you highlight that and compare it to all the other reports you have. So you're looking at Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. If you notice the errors are across the board, like the date the account was opened doesn't consistently report the same way across the reports. If the balances are off, one of them is zeroed out, the other one says there's a 1,000 or so on here, and the other one shows you like it might be off by like a few pennies or whatnot. That's an error. Everything has to be 100% accurate according to Fair Credit Reporting Act. Once you have that information, you want to send a letter to the credit reporting agencies and then call them and tell them like, hey, I submitted a letter to you guys. I want you guys to do an investigation and make sure everything is 100% accurate, because it's not like that on my report. What's most likely going to happen is they're going to tell you it's been verified, but that information, if it doesn't get corrected and it still has those errors, you want to request for them to delete it immediately, because this is a violation of Fair Credit Reporting Act. If it's not accurate, it is 100% legitimate for them to remove it. So that's how you want to go about it. Easy fix, pretty straightforward. Anybody can do this. You have the power within yourself to fix your own credit. You don't need me to do it for you, but if you do need me to do it for you, I'm your guy. I've gotten people amazing results with their credit. I did this, case is open, but how long does it take? Okay, yeah, so with credit repair, it could take a while. I mean, it could be overnight or it could take up to like 6 months. It all depends on how aggressive you are in your letters. So if you're submitting a dispute, and you're calling out how, there's errors on the report, and you're getting a response from them and it's all like computer generated, just saying verified, verified, verified. You want to get on the phone with these people and explain to them how, there's no way this account could be verified if all the errors are still existing. Like, you've updated my account, you said the investigation is completed, but I'm still looking at it with all this misleading information. You have to delete it. Now, the reps on the phone are not trying to help you out. They're pretty much saying like, sorry, we can't do anything. You're going to have to submit another dispute. Tell them, don't take no for an answer. Say, I want to speak to the manager. Speak to the manager, call, explain to them what's going on. Like, how can this account be accurate? The information is inconsistent. It's incomplete. The account numbers are not fully displaying. There's a lot of, there's no transparency in what's being reported. So you need that stuff to be deleted immediately, because according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, if anything is not 100% accurate, it must be deleted, right? The investigation already took 30 days. They said everything is correct, but it's not. You can look at it with your own eyes. You're telling them to pull it up on your computer and read to you what they're looking. And if they're telling you information that doesn't make sense, you need to be adamant about it and ask them to remove it. And me personally, I've done that. I've had accounts deleted in like a matter of minutes, right? Compared to sending disputes over several months. So you could get a lot faster results just being adamant on the phone and demanding that, they take action and remove the information that is not being authorized. So you're not authorizing them to report that on your credit. And if they're doing it, that's a violation of Fair Credit Reporting Act. You just have to be very, very adamant about it. What about negative inquiries like car loan inquiries? So in terms of inquiries, if you have inquiries that are on your credit report, but they're not attached to any open accounts, like, for example, you went to a dealership and you wanted to get a car, but they ran your credit to all the lenders they have on your computer. Now you have, numerous inquiries, but there's only one actual inquiry attached to the auto loan. All the rest of those inquiries, you want to call the bureaus and tell them to delete those immediately, because you did not authorize that. Like, those inquiries should not be on your credit report. And dealerships, they do this a lot of times because they're fishing. They're actually looking for the best deal for them, not so much so in your benefit. You're looking for what works for them, who's going to, give them, the interest rate that is going to, pretty much, they're trying to fleece you. They're trying to get as much money out of your pocket as possible. And whichever lender gives them the best, choice, they're going to go with that. Not so much so like, what makes sense for you. So yeah, you have like 10 to 20 inquiries. Yep. So only one of those inquiries should be connected to that actual auto loan on your credit report. The remaining 19 got to go. So what you want to do is go on identitytheft.gov. Let me type this out. identitytheft.gov. So you want to go on that website, and when you go there, it will literally step by step prompt you to file a complaint. Yep, file a complaint. Just follow the steps. If there are any accounts that are in collection, you want to put that information there. It's going to be very, very straightforward. Anybody with, a high school or, grade school understanding will be able to do this. And then you want to pretty much include any inquiries that you have on your credit report that aren't attached to any open accounts. Add as many of them as possible. And then at the end of the report, it's going to give you a field to kind of explain what's going on. And I typically tell people to just write, I did not authorize. I did not authorize. That is like the legal language that you want to use. Pretty much, I did not authorize these accounts and these inquiries on my credit report, because the law says you give the credit reporting agencies the authority to report anything on your behalf. If you're not giving them that authority and you're requesting them to remove it, you're essentially saying I am not authorizing them to report that information on my report. I'm using the word report a lot, but I'm not authorizing them to report that information, right, on your consumer disclosure statements. So you want them to remove it. Saying that on paper, getting a copy of that report and now sending it to the credit reporting agencies in the mail, you want to give them a call and be like, hey, I submitted an FTC report. I want to make sure that you guys received it. And in that FTC report, I did not authorize, all these inquiries, and I need you guys to remove them immediately. Now, what they should say is, okay, we got your report. We see that, it was submitted on this day. Please give us, 24 to 72 hours to remove this information from your credit report. That's how it should go. For the most part, these people are going to give you a hard time. They're going to say, well, this inquiry has your name and whatever, and it should be on your credit report for 2 years. That's the BS running around that they want to use. They just want you to pretty much, throw your hands up and be like, you know what, I'm just going to wait 2 years for these inquiries to drop. No, tell them according to the law, you just filed an identity theft form, and in the case of identity theft, they must protect your information. They must remove anything that is not authorized by you. If they're giving you a hard time, speak to a supervisor, tell the supervisor or the manager to proceed and remove the information. Otherwise, this is a violation of the law. They're pretty much committing a crime, and this is federal law that you guys are violating, and they should remove it. You could have the back and forth with them. Don't give yourself high blood pressure. If they're giving you a hard time, hang up, call another day. Eventually, you're going to talk to somebody who's genuinely trying to help you and understand your situation, and those inquiries will come off. Inquiries are literally the easiest part. And the other thing, too, I want to mention, if they're removing the inquiries and they're telling you, like, okay, do you need anything else from us? Usually, like a customer representative, they're like, okay, anything else I can help you with? Say, yes, I also have some collections on my credit report that I also did not authorize. I need you guys to process the removal of that immediately. And they will go ahead and remove those. So that's the type of information that I'm going to be teaching. Comment free below so you can get the link to show up on Thursday. I'm going to be breaking how you do that. That's not the only thing I'm going to show you guys. I'm also going to show you guys the type of credit builder accounts that you want to sign up for. Break down some of the myths about trade lines and secondary, accounts, primary accounts, so people get a full understanding of what they should prioritize rather than just, adding, all these secure loans and secure credit cards in the hopes of building their credit. So I'm going to, transition from there to, your LLC. A lot of people, they also have a lot of misconceptions about LLCs and what they need to do for it. Like, some people are like, do I need a lawyer? Some people are like, what platforms are best for me to, set up my LLC? Collections, really. I have a collection that was in a lawsuit and should be gone, but it has a case and it is taking a long time. Yeah, man, that's the thing with litigation. Sometimes they take a long time. Like, this credit thing isn't overnight, but the more you're persistent on the phone, the faster you kind of know who's going to help you, right? In a lawsuit, they could push things down the road. On a phone call, right? If you're calling me, if I'm a representative working for Experian, just by the first couple of minutes, you can tell if I'm going to help you out or not. So, it's either you wait, several months while, the stuff is still being worked on, or you get on the phone, maybe spend, 20, 30 minutes on the phone with these people and get the results. So I rather take, 30 minutes versus waiting, 6, 7, 8 months, sometimes 12 months to get deletions, right? I'm getting on the phone. I have all the time in the day to really be on the phone with these people and tell them, hey, I need you guys to remove that stuff. I know my rights. This is a violation of my privacy. Hurry up and remove this stuff. I'm not taking no for an answer. So that's how you go about cleaning up your credit, the most effective way that I know. But yeah, keep the questions coming, man. Keep the questions coming. These are great questions. But with the like I wanted to transition about LLCs, right? Some people are like, I want to name my company this real estate or this management or this capital management. And I tell people, man, you could have a passion for all those all that, business and whatever, but please don't name your business with those names, because at the end of the day, our objective is to get funding. And sometimes names like real estate or transportation could really turn off lenders. Okay, they say there's a case on it. Do you want me to cancel it and start a new one? So while the case is still pending, don't do anything about starting a new one. The only thing I would say is, even while there's a case on it, you can still dispute it. The channel of sending letters and speaking to them on the phone. So even while this thing is still in court, there is no like restriction on pretty much you asking them to remove it, because at the end of the day, the credit reporting agencies are a third party, but they can cancel it over the phone. But they could remove an account over the phone easily. I think it's the most effective way, because you get the feedback immediately, as opposed to when you send a letter and you're waiting several months. Now, you still want to put things in writing and send that letter, but at the end of the day, you want to not just wait on the response, like, after the 30-day investigation. What you want to do is, what you need to do is get on the phone after you've submitted the letter, wait, a few days so that they actually receive it, call them and ask them, to confirm that they received your mail, and to have those accounts removed over the phone, because, you're not going to wait for this whole entire long, prolonged, drawn out process that they usually take. Just explain to them what you're seeing on your end and confirm that they're seeing the exact same thing on their end, and ask them to remove it. That works just as well. And like I was going to mention, like the credit reporting agencies, those are all voluntary. They don't have to report an account on your credit report. Like, these are not government agencies. These are just companies acting in your own self-interest, just like any other company out here. So Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, these are not wings of the government. We do not elect these people to report our financial information. They're just doing it because there's actually a monetary gain for them. They sell your information to banks, to credit unions, to auto dealerships, so that they make money, right? And these people are governed under Fair Credit Reporting Act. So you're pretty much using the law to challenge the information that they're reporting on your behalf. And if you're telling them that you do not authorize them to report that information, they have to remove it. That's just how it goes, right? We live in a country of law and order. We have, the Constitution. We also have Congress that passes laws. And a law that they passed is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And in this, they have statutes about how credit reporting agencies must behave. And these companies are governed by these laws. So you want to pretty much exercise that right. And if you don't exercise your rights, then you lose them, unfortunately, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. So what you want to do is get comfortable, talking to them. You're not going to hit the home run on the first call you have. Hopefully you do, right? Hopefully you hit a home run after the first call and they remove everything. But sometimes it's going to take practice. Sometimes, they're going to hit you back with a question, and it might, take you a few minutes to actually digest the information. But, you want to stand on your belief. You want to stand on, the rights that you understand. You have a right to privacy. And these companies, if they're, violating that right, you got to let them know and be like, hey, man, remove that stuff from my credit. This is unwarranted. It's not authorized. So hurry up and get this done. Yes, how fun. Okay. Cool. But no, that's a great question. But, once you get all this stuff removed from your credit, man, I honestly urge people to, start a business, register your LLC. Go on, what's this platform? What's the one that I usually use? Let me think for a second. Inkfile. Go on Inkfile. Go on Inkfile or LegalZoom. Inkfile.com. Go on Inkfile.com. Create an LLC. They have different plans. Some of them are free, and all you'll be paying is the state, registration fee. So if you're somebody who is, trying to start a business, start a side hustle, I didn't time out, right? Start a side hustle, but have it legit, not just conducting business without, having any paperwork. You want to go on Inkfile, start up your, register your LLC. Make sure you pick a safe name like consulting, marketing, global, enterprise. You want to kind of select from those. And from there, the next thing you want to focus on is getting a business address. Do not use your personal home address. First of all, it's kind of dangerous to even use your home address for your business because, you don't know who's out there. You don't know who is, who's stalking you, who's spying on you. And it's like you got your personal information out in the public. Because once you register your LLC, they could pretty much go on the Secretary of State website and look you up. And if you have your home address on there, man, you're opening yourself to a lot of danger. So go on a website like iPostal1.com to get yourself. Go on iPostal1 to get yourself a business address. Make sure it's attached to like an office space and not just some, UPS or Staples or one of those, because, you want it to look legit. So when it's time for funding and the lenders are looking up your address, they can tell like, okay, this is a legitimate business. This is not just, somebody that just got a virtual address and they received your mail at, whatever, UPS or Staples. You don't want to do that. Next, I would say is make sure you get yourself a business email. Make sure you're not using your personal. Again, when lenders are looking at you and you're filling out the application, the consistency, the separation between the individual and the business has to be clear. So you want your business email. If you want a business email, you want to go to platforms like Google Workspace. You literally type Google Workspace on your search, and you're going to look for the tab that's like, domain or email. Create an email from there. And once you have that set up, next thing you want to do is get yourself a 1-800 number. Do not just use a different number than your cell phone number. Make sure it's a 1-800 number. Platforms like Freedom Voice giving y'all plenty of free game. So go on freedomvoice.com and get yourself a 1-800 number. Have this for your business as well. And after that, next thing I would say is make sure you get yourself a business bank account. And once you have a business bank account, right, you don't have, you're not using your personal bank account for your business. You want to make sure, you actually open up a business bank account where your LLC, the name of your business, the business email, business address, business phone number, those are all going to be used to create this account. So when you're opening up the account, make sure you have these documents. Go in person, go to a Bank of America, a Chase, Navy Federal, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, all these companies or all these banks, you can open up a business bank account with them. Make sure you bring your documents, set that up. And once you have all that, as well as, with, your credit looking great, in great shape, you have all your credit, no negatives, right? You have 100% payment history. You have at minimum 10 primary accounts. You want your inquiries to be less than 0 preferably, but some of us have, some auto loans or whatever that we got on our credit, so that's fine. But the fewer inquiries you have, the better. Once you have all that set up, now you can go for funding. Now you can go for the big bag. All right. And I would advise y'all to go with the credit unions first. So, look up credit unions like PSECU. Let me type that. SECU. That's one. I would go. Another one would be, if you don't have a Navy Federal, make sure you have a Navy. They give out at least $15K on the business side for first-time businesses with no docs. So they're not asking for statements and all that. They just want your LLC information. Navy FCU. Chase is another one, but you might have to reach out to me to get to the Chase because their underwriting is a little bit more strict compared to the credit unions. Chase, you gotta have a relationship with an underwriter. Another one you guys can go for is PNC. PNC gives out like $50K with no docs. Another one is Truist. Truist is a bit more regional, so your state might not have Truist, but Truist is great. They even give you a pre-approval online, so you can pretty much check online before you actually accept the offer. So you don't get the hard inquiry on your credit report. And the beautiful thing about business credit, once you get the inquiry on your personal, you can delete it and it doesn't affect the credit card. So you can keep running it back again. You can go to another bank. You can go to another bank like GM Marcus. GM Marcus is another bank that you can go to. And it's also a pre-approval, right? So, you don't have that hard inquiry hitting your credit, but you accept the offer, you like what they're giving you, you take that, you delete the inquiry. Another one is American Express, Amex. Amex is great because, they have a lot of rewards. A lot of these cards, they're giving you cash back. Some of them are giving you travel, points. So pretty much, you're spending the money for your business, to grow your business, but you're also generating a lot of points for yourself. So you could either convert that into cash or you could apply that to, your travel, hotels, things like that. So, it's pretty much a beautiful thing with credit, because if you're just using your debit card, you're not getting anything in return. You're just spending your cash, right? You swipe your debit card, they take the money out of your account. That's it. With a credit card, at least when you're spending it, you're going to be generating points. You could even get cash backs, right? Some of these cards is like you use it on gas for, filling up your car, and you're getting points just because you're spending your money on gas. You're spending your money on, resources for your business. You're getting cash back. You're getting points for travel. So at least you're getting something back as opposed to just using your own hard-earned money. And it's also even more, it's smarter to use your credit card because it opens you, there's less risk involved, right? Like if you use your personal debit card online to purchase something and someone hacks the information and gets that, information from your credit card, they could liquidate your bank account. And now you're on the phone with your bank asking them for a credit or for a refund for the amount that someone just stole from you. And that could take months because they got to do an investigation. They got to make sure, what you're saying is actually true. But with a credit card, if someone takes that information, call the credit card company, tell them to cancel the card, explain to them what happened, and you could literally get that money back within 48 hours, that fast, because the credit card company, is their money. It's not yours, right? They're extending you credit to use, but your own bank, your own actual debit card, that's your money. When they take it, good luck getting it back. I've had experiences where people took my money, and I'm like, isn't the, FDIC federal, I can't remember what the D stands for, but it's like the insurance that the banks usually have is up to $250,000 from the government. So if someone took $1,000 from your bank account, why are they giving you such a hard time to bring that money to, refund you that money back? They literally will do that for you. They will ultimately treat you like you're the criminal, right? Versus a credit card, it's like, oh, say less, we're going to cancel the card, we're going to issue you a new card, give us up to 48 hours FDIC at $250K. And, we're going to bring back, you're going to have that money debited to your credit card again. Super fast. Somebody literally stole my credit card and went to Apple. I don't know what they purchased, but they got something for like 1,500. And I was just like, I can't believe someone just stole from me. I called Chase. Next thing you know, the money is back in my account within minutes. Super fast. Like, imagine if that was my own, like, bank account. They would have asked me, where were you on this day? Did you go to, Apple? Did you purchase a laptop? This, that. It's like, yo, what is going on? I thought a bank is supposed to protect our money. Man, they don't care about that, man. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make a profit with your money. So that's why I tell people, credit is a good thing, man. Don't be afraid of credit. Don't buy into the fear mongering. Credit is actually a good thing. You just have to make sure you control the debt and don't let the debt control you. All right? So, just wanted to do this live, give y'all some free game. I want you guys to share this information with your loved ones. Plenty of people will definitely benefit from this information that I'm giving. And also comment free. Once you get that link, sign up, share with your friends, with your family. Tell them it's a free masterclass. I'm going to be breaking down everything that I pretty much discussed here in more detail. And, you guys can bring questions. You guys should bring a notepad so you can take down some notes, because the information is going to be very, very important. And this is stuff you want to write down. So, once the call is over, you want to apply the information. You don't just want it to go in one ear, out the other, right? You could use this information and transform your financial health. You could use it to transform the financial health of the people around you, your family, right? If you got kids, this is information you kind of want to pass down to them so they know. Once they're in school, they understand this stuff and they're not getting the type of advice that I got that's like very watered down. They actually know something or two about credit. So when they're in higher ed and, they open up a credit card, they know how to navigate the treacherous water. This is everything I needed to know 4 years ago. I know. It's crazy. Credit is crazy. But the information, I think, is definitely more so accessible now than ever. So, hey man, it's I don't think credit is going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, it's just gonna be more of a thing here. And other places are adopting some form of credit system. So it's good to know this information. So financially at least, how to move around. That once, you have something negative hit your report, it's not the end of the world, right? You're not operating in fear. You're operating in a position of strength. Hey man, this is just water off my shoulder. I got this collection. Time to dispute it. Time to get rid of it. Time to go get the bag. All right. That's how you got to be thinking. Growth mindset. Never, fixed mindset. So that's how you got to be, man. That's how you got to move. And I'm just gonna conclude this for tonight. And I really look forward to seeing a bunch of you guys on Thursday. I'm going to do this again tomorrow night. So, definitely stop in. I'll be here. Also, how do I hire you? Mad funny. Hey, man, I have a mentorship. So if you want to join the mentorship, man, the link is in my bio. You can set up a call with me. We're going to talk about, the expectations and, the deliverables, what you're going to get. So, hey, man, I'm open for business, man. I'm open for business. So, absolutely. Thank you, Nico. I love the how interactive you've been. I really appreciate all your questions. And bring plenty of more questions that you perhaps didn't get to ask here tonight. Bring it to the call. You could unmute yourself on a call, ask the question. I'll give you immediate feedback as opposed to trying to type it out in this small little field here with the the IG live. So definitely bring the questions. And I'm going to do my best to answer all of them to your satisfaction. So thank you y'all for joining tonight. And I wish you guys all the best. Have a good night. And we're out. Peace.